Welcome back, everybody, to the final season of the Buffalo Bulls Dynasty. Starting the day with a 2-1 record ranked number 6 in the country, we've bounced back from our opening week loss to David Ogbonna and the Arkansas Razorbacks, winning our last 2 games. And now getting into the thick of ACC play, we have a matchup with the Florida State Seminoles to begin this episode. I appreciate all the feedback I got on the last episode as I combined the offseason and a few games into that video. And a lot of you liked the format. I am continuing that through the rest of year 9. Florida State coming into this game I knew would be a really good test of where we are in the ACC, given how much high-end talent they have on both sides of the football. And you have to factor in us going on the road for this matchup. Let's get into the opening drive where Florida State throws a pick. Quarterback Kerry Waddle is intercepted by Devin Hester, and the junior takes it 47 yards to the house. Finally, a return touchdown for Devin Hester. We've been waiting for that one. Ball comes out a little late here to the outside. Hester undercuts it, and despite the Seminoles getting the ball first, we put the first points on the board. But FSU comes right back on the next drive, continuing to throw. Kerry Waddle completes over the middle, and then a very well-blocked run to the outside for Jason Spain puts them in Buffalo territory. And with us out of position, the Seminoles quickly answer on a touchdown catch for Jaron Salvia. And we're tied at 7 apiece. Buffalo's offense finally takes the field later in the first quarter. Here's DeMarco Lacombo with some powerful running on his way to a first down. Go right back to him, up the middle. Nobody gets in his way that time. Then we mix in the RPO, and this is Buck Giacobbe on the reception. I've fixed the pronunciation of his name. It's about time. Thank you for the feedback. But DeMarco Lacombo ends up ending this drive, dropping a pass. That's his one weakness. Charlie Bowanko kicks through a field goal to put the Bulls up 10-7. In the second quarter now, FSU ball. A fake from Waddle, and he gets swallowed up on the play. That's Stephen Makovica. This edge rush duo has been very strong for Buffalo. Larry Wheeler applies the pressure, and the pass is intercepted. It's safety Carlos Harmon. He's going across the field, coast to coast, all the way to the end zone. A second pick six for the Buffalo defense. That's how you make a play right there. 47 yards, 17-7 Bulls. What does FSU, though, do in response? They just keep their foot on the gas and go over the top on a pass to number 17, Amani Ursua, their top receiver. Later in the drive, 3rd and 16, though. Larry Wheeler chases down Waddle. FSU does not score on the drive. So a 10-point advantage, defense helping out in a big way. And here is more DeMarco Lacombo. The powerful running, the stiff arms, you know what his game's all about. Dodging pressure here, it's Kenyon Traylor. Now he's going to make a play and heads out of bounds inside the 30. But we get caught on 3rd and 13. Again, stepping up, avoiding pressure. Traylor pulls it down, and somehow he gets through the mess without taking a massive hit. Very Mahomes-like with his scrambling at times. Then we dump it out on the screen pass. A swing screen to Jimmy Sampson. And the New York native puts the Bulls even further ahead of FSU. It's a 24-10 game going into halftime, and to begin the second half, this is Devin Hester, and he loses the football. Ball gets charred out, FSU pounces on it, and from 14 points down, they have a chance to work themselves back into the game. But Buffalo coming through, good play by Rodney Gilliam, their number 53 at linebacker. And on 3rd and 10, busting through is Braden Augustine. Huge breakout player for us in Season 9. Good damage control. FSU gets 3. Next drive, overthrown by Kenyon Traylor, misses Jacoby with a chance to extend the drive. So that gives the ball back to FSU, and they go to work with a good 3rd and 7 conversion. Followed up on 1st down, they go down the middle, trying to get the big play. Hester with good defense. Back to 3rd down, a little angle route here to the running back puts them into Buffalo territory. And they would stall there, settling for a long field goal drive, 58 yards. It is good. They continue to close the gap, 24-16. A little delayed give, and look at the second level blocking. It's Lacombo in the open field, and he runs over a defender. That is a 32-yard run and in over 400 career carries. That is the longest for DeMarco Lacombo. He stays in after his longest career run and then heads outside. Good block by Agnew. He's pulling away, untouched, to the end zone and breaks his own personal record all over again. 42-yard touchdown. Those are the 2 longest plays in DeMarco Lacombo's career back to back. Crazy how that can happen. 31-16, Buffalo ball in the 4th quarter. We're not trying to do anything fancy, just kill the clock, work down the field. We'll take these crossing routes, complete to Carl Agnew this time, a good catch and run. Traylor only throwing the ball when he really has to here. This was a day dominated by the running game of Buffalo. Nice job by Keenan Cleveland. And we bring out the field goal team. Charlie Bowanko off the left upright and no good. We can't make it a 3-score game there, so technically FSU still in it. On the pass, complete to Ursua. They get a first at the Buffalo 33. Breaking wide open. This is going to take them all the way inside the 10. Legend Olaseni on the catch. And not quite a touchdown here. Amir Quarterman stuffs the run. It goes to 3rd down, where they do finally get into the end zone. Buffalo makes them use up a little more time. That's Jaron Selvia. And this becomes a 1-possession game. So 3 and change to go. Lacombo gets stuffed, losing 2. Then on 2nd down, a quick hitter to Agnew, trying to make moves. 3rd and 7. We're trying to steal a few yards, and it backfires. False start. Suddenly, it's 3rd and 12. What do you do in this spot? Well, FSU assumes we're going to run. Instead, we throw it over their head. Jacoby on the reception. Everybody just gets downhill. I don't think I've seen this in the entire life cycle of college football 25. They sell out on 3rd and 12. And we beat them over the top. Here's Lacombo now. Nice run. Continuing a career-defining performance. And Buffalo goes on to win this game 34-23. Really fun ACC matchup. We score twice on defense. And DeMarco Lacombo, where have those big plays been? Well, they show up in a very big way today. 153 yards for him on 16 carries. That's the kind of game that we've all been waiting for. They actually attempted twice as many 3rd downs as we did. We were doing a pretty good job on early downs, especially getting some of those big plays. We do give up over 300 yards passing, but contain the run extremely well, and they have some really good pass game weapons. Buffalo, meanwhile, does not do much through the air. Just 21 pass attempts for Kenyon Traylor. This was the DeMarco Lacombo game, and for good reason. A career day for him. Giacobbe ends up leading us in receiving, actually. Isaac Truman, Jamal Harper, they each rack up double-digit tackles. 4 sacks on defense, 2 pick sixes, and a 3rd consecutive win. That takes us into our rematch with West Virginia. The same matchup in last year's national championship game. And the final non-conference game on the schedule. DeMarco Lacombo now averaging 5.7 yards per carry, far more efficient than even Keenan Cleveland this year. So he's been leading us in carries, and it's Basically him leading the backfield once again. Carl Agnew has done a really good job when we've needed him. I've loved seeing his big play ability give this offense a spark in the absence of Oscar McNabb. But we also have to highlight some of the defensive standouts, and Braden Augustine, getting some of his first major playing time, leads us in sacks. He has a 99 finesse move rating, and it's no surprise he's using that to put together an amazing senior season and wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks. West Virginia is up next, but at 3-3 and unranked, you can tell that they're taking a step back from their season appearing in the national championship game. So this matchup doesn't carry the same weight as I thought it would preseason. They've lost some of their key players. Still a really good roster, but they've lost to Pitt, lost to Texas Tech, and Arizona. Two of those teams aren't even ranked. So Buffalo welcomes them to New York as we try to continue our winning streak here in a downpour. First quarter, let's get this started with the Mountaineer offense. And here's their running back, number 34, Terrence Soto. Early on, gashing us for some nice gains, helping West Virginia get the ball into plus territory. Met with 3rd and 7. They'll complete a pass on the outside. That is a senior quarterback in Paris Cobb. He did not play in the national championship. And we get to him on 2nd down here, forcing a big loss, Stephen Makovica. And they end up settling for a field goal on this drive, but miss it wide left. Here's Kenyon Traylor with good numbers entering this game. Looking to get things going on 1st down. He rolls out off the fake, tries to find Roger Grimm, and the pass is picked. That's his 4th interception thrown this year. And that means we have topped the number of picks thrown in Season 8. 3 is probably something that will never be topped on this channel or matched again. 4 picks, and West Virginia is going to run this with Terrence Soto. And again, a big run, 52 yards on his first 8. And he leaves the field as they run in a touchdown with Jamal Hippenhammer. And the Mountaineers take the lead. Got to respond to the mistake now. Kenyon Traylor, short throw. There's Giacobbe going across the field and taking a big hit as he gets 1st down yardage. Then we run it here. Keaton Cleveland, the shiftiness there on display. But on this big hit, he actually suffers an injury that causes him to leave the game because of wear and tear concerns, meaning Jimmy Sampson would stay on the field more. And there's Giacobbe again on the reception. We take it inside the 30, and here is Jimmy Sampson. Can't get off that block of Grimm cleanly. Only gains 7. So we go to him on the screen pass, and this time he'll get through with no issue and dives in for the touchdown. And Buffalo ties the game. Moving ahead in the 2nd quarter, still tied, and it's Lacombo looking to bounce this run, takes out a defender in the process, down to the 31. 3rd and 6 later on the drive, and patiently waiting, and then finding Roger Grimm, tough catch to hold on to. We have to settle for 3, but do score 10 unanswered after the good start by the Mountaineers. Overall, there wasn't a lot of great offense going on here in the first half. But here is Carlos Harms, a very nice run as he breaks out the spin. This doesn't lead to points, but it kept us from having to potentially punt out of our own end zone to give West Virginia a chance. So we go into the half with a 10-7, low-scoring, sloppy game here in the rain, as you kind of expect. Getting the second half underway, down goes the quarterback. We swarm him in the backfield, and then Soto gets stuffed here on this play. Eric Sharp on that hit. Bulls take over on offense. Here is Roger Grimm sitting it down over the middle. He gains 9. Followed up later on the drive. Lacombo downhill. Very close to a Buffalo 1st down. They take it into the red zone. Try to throw up top for Agnew, and he can't pull it down. Such a good chance there at the touchdown. Traylor then overthrows Giacobbe. So we go to 3rd down and 8, where again, he's trying to put this in the end zone, but the ball gets swatted away from Agnew. Nothing is coming easily for the offenses. Great sequence by West Virginia. We can only manage 3 more. Still in the 3rd, Mountaineer ball. Soto again, running the rock, breaking a tackle out across the 40. That's a 20-yard gash. Clearly, he was the most effective player in this West Virginia offense. Here at the 49, he's going to run a sweep and get over 100 yards on the day with this 9-yard run. This was looking like the best rushing effort against the Bull defense all year. Continuing to add on. He's not done there. He gets to a $120. And on 3rd and 2, he's going to cap it off. What a drive for Terrence Soto. And West Virginia has taken the lead for the 2nd time. You know they want to pull off an upset after losing the championship to us last year. Well, here's Lacombo now, and he can't get a whole lot going. 12 for 57. They really kept the running game in check. And Grimm unable to hold on to this ball. Offense just not getting in rhythm. Under 100 yards passing. So back to the Mountaineers. And they'll throw it over the middle. That's a nice catch and run. And some sloppy tackling gives them some extra yardage. Here is a wide receiver screen. Sloppy tackling again from Devontae Carrion. They get to 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. They dump it for Soto. And Rodney Gilliam makes the tackle for a 2-yard loss. They leave the offense on. Aggressive on 4th and 3. They pitch it out. And Devin Hester makes the tackle and forces the turnover on downs. Huge stand for the Buffalo defense. They take over with 5.5 to go. And Lacombo works outside. Finally getting some space. And a 16-yard gain. Kenyon Traylor going back to the air. And the pass is hauled in. That's Carl Agnew breaking open over the middle, taking things to the West Virginia 34. Traylor again rolls out, lets it develop, and then finds the tight end, Nelly Jarrell. He brings us all the way inside the 10. And Traylor then throws a ball to the outside. Agnew just unable to break the plane. 3rd and goal. That's DeMarco Lacombo time. The locomotive puts us back in front. And we, of course, need to go for 2 in this spot. With under 4 minutes left. Traylor throws quick and Giacobbe holds on. 7-point advantage for Buffalo. West Virginia needs to answer. They try to run Soto, and he gets stacked up by Makovica. We want to take away that run game option, force them to throw. But here's a nice catch and run as they do get the first down on the very next play to Nate Okung. Couple plays later, soft defense allows them to keep chipping away as we go inside 2 minutes. Cobb throwing wide open again for Okung, his 6th reception. Time on the Mountaineers' side. They get it complete now. Soto with running room inside the 15. And they're one good play away from tying this game up. 38 seconds left to go. Cobb back to pass. He's hit. That's a fumble recovered by West Virginia. Larry Wheeler got a hit there. It looked like it just slipped out of his hands, kind of. And Jamal Harper was so close. Next play, 3rd down. Here's pressure. Bulls out again, and it's recovered by the Bulls. Braden Augustine dives into the pile, and he gets the ball. This is a defense that's all about creating the big plays. Makovica and Wheeler combine this time on the hit with good coverage in the end zone. It's hard to say when he loses possession. It's a bang-bang play. Was the knee down? Ultimately, Augustine dives on the ball, and Buffalo wins this game 21-14. They win the rematch against West Virginia and move to 4-1. This one was close, though. It went down to the wire, and the offense wasn't as effective. They did a good job of keeping the pass game in check and limiting big plays on the ground. Overall, we went 4 of 9 on third down. That's not too bad, but only 6 yards per pass attempt. There was just not enough rhythm there. And maybe after the interception, I played things pretty safe. 15 carries, 82 yards for DeMarco Lacombo. Carl Agnew leads us in receiving with just 31 yards. But the defense again had to make a lot of big plays. They combined for 3 sacks, no interceptions this time, but they helped seal it. And this came on a day where our run defense was not good, and we gave up an outstanding day to Terrence Soto. But we still managed to win an ugly game, and sometimes you gotta win that way. Now, I'm not talking too much about recruiting, as I'm planning on this being our last season. But I am still recruiting, and who knows if I ever do more in this series one day. But this was one of our best weeks of just getting commitments. 4 5-stars and a 4-star commit all in that week. That was a week with a bunch of visits, by the way. And we're going to go through one more game today. This is Virginia. Now at 3-2, they are 79 overall. On paper, this is one of those games we should dominate, but we know that it's rarely ever been that simple. We've been surprised in matchups like this before. 4-1 Buffalo, 3-2 Virginia. Let's get into it. And they're going right at our defense here out of the gate. This is the opening possession. Quarterback Frederick Ruffin is a redshirt senior, showing no fear. Just throwing the ball downfield, airing it out. Nice little RPO here going upfield to the tight end. They march right down the field and overpower us for a touchdown, and that is a wake-up call. This is not just going to be some game we dominate from end to end. Virginia comes to play. They put points on the board. So we take over, down 7-0. Here is Keenan Cleveland. Nice cut. He's going to work his way back and through contact and now pull away with the sprinter speed. Keenan Cleveland, a 72-yard touchdown on our first play from scrimmage. Thank you for the alarm this morning, Virginia. You have our attention, and we're ready. Keenan Cleveland over 50 yards after contact. That's a special run, his best play of the year. West Virginia ball trying to answer. They're going to keep doing what they did on the first drive. Wabena LaWork is the tight end, and early we have no answer for slowing him down all the way to the 22. Cavaliers face a 3rd and 7. Frederick Ruffin, he's just going to fire to the end zone, and this pass is intercepted. Hey, he came out aggressive, and it's awesome when it works. But eventually, you can bite off more than you can chew. Picked off by Anthony Titus. Buffalo takes over. We're going to see more of Keenan Cleveland here, working into the second level. That's a nice run of 7. Now a screen to the outside. Agnew, they can't close the gap on him, and he sprints out to the 47. Calling a lot of those screens this year. And then more Cleveland. We're stressing them with the speed. I think sometimes when you have such an advantage talent-wise, you just need to figure out what they can't handle. Is it the power? Is it the speed? Well, it looked like the speed early on. Here's Traylor. He's gonna throw late and bouncing off contact. Nice play by Nelly Jarrell. We take it inside the 5, and on 3rd down, trying to extend. This is Traylor, and he gets run down. 4th and goal. We're leaving the offense on the field. 4 receivers, and a throw! Caught! Touchdown! Buck Giacobbe! And the Bulls take their first lead of the game, 14-7. All right, we've settled into the game. Virginia came out with a lot of energy. How do they respond? Stephen Makovica with the sack. Later, it's 3rd and 13. Down the middle. Big catch on the defense again. They are not going to make this easy on us. But on 3rd and 7, that is Augustine, the team leader in sacks. He gets another one. Buffalo ball. Here's a screen. Carl Agnew breaks out once again across the 40. There's 24 yards. Right at midfield, Lacumbo's going to run through the middle. Uncontested until he gets the first down. Trailer later, 2nd and 15. Dodging pressure and holding on to the ball too long. Always trying to make a play with him, and that is going to give the ball to Virginia as he fumbles it away. So an opening for the Cavaliers. They face 3rd and 12. Good protection. And of course they're going to go deep, but the pass is offline, incomplete. Field goal team comes on. And we block it. That's Dan Calcaterra, and Buffalo will take over on the recovery. Still a touchdown lead as Calcaterra makes his first big play of year 9. Here's Keenan Cleveland, another delay. I love seeing those second-level blocks get set up. We have so many good athletes on this line. That gets us into Virginia territory where we do kick through a 53-yard field goal to extend the lead. Still relatively close, though. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Kenyon Trailer. Now he's going to air it out and finds Jarrell. His field stretching has opened some things up in the offense this year. Now against the pressure, that's caught by Agnew, and he turns it up. There's a touchdown. Carl Agnew with the big play to put the Bulls up 24-7. Just a dig route. Following in the footsteps of Oscar McNabb, Chance Morrow, Braylon Staley, all the great receivers in this series. That's been a staple route in the offense. And again, 17-point game. Virginia got to keep attacking, and the pass is intercepted. Second of the day for Anthony Titus. Cannot put it in the end zone. This is just a phenomenal play. He is a ball hawk, and he can find the football. And it's a dig route. You can beat it, but you got to have somebody that can identify and jump it like that. Buffalo extends their lead. DeMarco Lacumbo breaks in, and now we pull away 31-7. That's more of what I thought this game could become. Here's the defense with Scotty O'Shaughnessy breaking into the backfield. It sure looks like this one's over, but Virginia is going to continue. Try to make plays and at least force us to keep defending deep. 265 yards passing here, approaching the half. And this is floated. What an adjustment and catch. Very impressive touchdown for Virginia. That is the running back, Spencer Gallimore. 31-14 as we go into the second half. And now Cleveland adding on to a big day already. We end up with a field goal try now, 51 yards. And there was some heavy wind and did not play it right. That is no good. 17 points down. We've seen comebacks in this series from more than that. But on 3rd and 1, that gets stuffed by Isaac Truman. Ball back in the hands of the Bulls. Lacumbo gaining 5 on this carry. Then we go with a little trickery here, faking the end around, and Trailer keeps it. We're going to play it safe there, up 17. Handoff Cleveland. Another first down. A $158 for Keenan Cleveland. This one's floated and dropped right in. Buck Giacobbe. He's getting a lot of looks here in the episode. Down to the 13. Inside give. Cutting off a block. And Lacumbo finishes the drive. Another great touchdown. Bulls trying to put this one away as Lacumbo gets us to 38. Now, Virginia does score a touchdown and gets a 2-point conversion. They make it a 16-point game. Here's Ruffin, intercepted. Threw it right to Jamal Harper. They could make a lot of big plays, and at times they looked good offensively, but the inability to limit the mistakes alongside it really hurt Virginia. That's a nice play made by Devontae Carrion. Here we have 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Ruffin gets taken down. A sack for Scotty O'Shaughnessy. Long third down, lets this fly, and out of bounds, covered by Hester. To fourth down we go. Of course, Virginia's just going to take another chance here. Ruffin's throw, intercepted! Third of the day for Anthony Titus. That is a career performance for the senior safety. He's truly become one of the best ball hawks in this series. It's Carlos Harm's time, and he fumbles the football. I just want to see a Harms hurdle. Instead, he gives the ball back to Virginia with about a minute to go. And they're going to continue to close the gap, make some plays, and really make this score look a lot closer than it truly was. But Harms gets another chance, breaks to the outside, and are we going to count that one? Is that a patented Harms hurdle? It wasn't the cleanest we've seen. But that's going to be the end of this ball game. Braden Augustine sacks Ruffin, and we pick up the win 44-29. Exciting game. Virginia came out and played aggressive, and the style of play I think you need to in a game like this. Like, it's not what I want to face as the team on the other side when they're, potentially getting a big play left and right. But after the loss to Arkansas in the opener, it's been 5 straight wins to the season's midway point. The offense remains very fun with this three-headed monster in the backfield and the emergence of both Carl Agnew and Buck Giacobbe playing a key role now as the slot receiver. This was a Keenan Cleveland game. After that 70-yard touchdown earlier, he runs for another 100 yards on the day, has our best of the year. And the defense continues to pick up sacks and turnovers, and they're capable of taking over games when they need to. But we do give up some plays and points in the process. 4 interceptions, 3 touchdowns for Frederick Ruffin, 357 yards. A pretty wild game, and that's what you're going to get when you're just constantly airing the ball out. He has definitely watched some Jameis Winston tape and been inspired by it. Next up for Buffalo, when we continue this year on, it is the big showdown, the battle for New York. We take on Syracuse. Virginia Tech follows. And then the matchups do seem easier on paper. We're going to keep going quickly here through Season 9, and I've really enjoyed putting these first 2 videos together. And my goal is to be done with Season 9 this time next week, because we are approaching College Football 26, which early access looks to be the 7th, which is a week from tomorrow. So we are sprinting through this season. We've already reached the halfway point in the regular season, and I'm definitely having a good time with this. Continue to leave your feedback. What do you think of this style of video? This really does take me back to when I started making content, and I thought my videos would look a little more something like this. And with me trying to go quickly through this season, I've gone back to the idea, and I like the execution so far. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts down below, and we'll continue on with the rest of Year 9 throughout this next week.